So hey guys, now before I get to this video, I want to say sorry for not posting 2 videos a week. I've been busy with school and I have to say that with a channel that do this frame by frame animation. Wow, I felt like I posted for a few seconds there. I want to put some more improvement in my channel, you know. So for the time I was not posting my second video, I was researching on some outstanding ways to improve my videos, like using GIMP to further edit my pictures, using Microsoft Encoder 4 to put some picture overlays, all the crap that you will not understand. But now, I'm back to making 2 videos a week. I'm still trying to find a solution to making 2 videos a week. I've got a lot of first world problems right now, and I still have to make some videos for school and all that. Heck, I may even have to move back to posting 1 video a week. But since you know that I cross my fingers every time I make a promise, I shall do that again and prove to you once more of how I am a lazy faggot by showing to you guys all of the videos I made for school. You guys like that, right? Right? Well, just enjoy this compilation while I go back to drinking my cup of coffee. See ya!
Sit down, lads. My name is Bill Nye, and today we are going to learn some math. That's what it is. So let's start. Let me give you a teaching about cooking vegetables. So if you don't know, vegetables, in definition, is a plant or part of a plant used as food, typically as accompaniment to meat or fish, such as cabbage, potato, carrot, or bean. It is not really in the book, but it is worth noting out. So when buying vegetables, make sure that they are brightly colored, have blemish-free surfaces, and have a regular shape and size. And the leaves or greens should be crisp and free of wilting. Also, it is more of a recommendation to consume as early as possible because these vegetables tend to diminish its nutrients over time. So now that we cover up how to pick up your vegetables, let's cook them. However, there are many cooking techniques when preparing a meal for these produce. The first one is being boiling and steaming, which is mostly used when making a puree or when glazing it with butter or oil. Another is grilling or broiling, which applies intense heat that gives vegetables a rich and bold flavor. Another is roasting, which gives it a rich and intense flavor. Saute'ing and stir-frying gives it a flavorful combination of aroma, tastes, and ingredients. And lastly, deep frying, which requires a batter or breading to make a perfectly fried, rich vegetables. You use these cooking techniques depending on the dish you're trying to make. However, the number one tip in making these dishes is to make sure that you cook the vegetables as quickly as possible to avoid the loss of vitamins. So be aware of that. So the next one we have right here are sandwiches. So sandwiches are made with 4 basic elements: the bread, the spread, the filling, and the garnish. I'll be surprised if any one of you can remember that. Ahem, it's in the test. So there are many kinds of sandwiches that you can make. Closed-faced sandwiches are made with 2 slices of bread. Open-faced sandwiches are made with just 1 slice of bread. A club sandwich is made with 3 slices of bread. And fun fact, it took us a century to realize that we can make a sandwich with 3 slices of bread. So going back to where I was, a grilled sandwich is made by cooking the bread in the griddle until toasted. A cold sandwich or deli-style sandwich is a sandwich that used ingredients such as cheese, sliced meat, mayonnaise, and vegetables. A hot sandwich, on the other hand, is a type of sandwich with an added hot filling to like a hamburger. And lastly, a tea sandwich is made on a special kind of bread that is cut into shapes. It's mostly eaten in 1 or 2 bites. So now that that was covered up, let me give you tips in making sandwiches. Here are a list of tips that I have displayed. But you can pause the video if you want. However, if you want my best tip, I suggest picking the elements of your sandwich carefully, properly preparing them, and appropriately garnish them to make the best of your hoagie. Pasta grains. And oh geez, do I really have to discuss all of this crud? Well, screw it. If the author of this book is not making it simple and entertaining for me, so why should I? Let's cut out this lousy animation. Much better. So where am I? Oh yes. So grains are the fruit and seed of cereal grasses and are cultivated for food. Grains include rice and all wheat, oat, and rye products. The best way to store these grains are by putting it in room temperature and storing them in tightly covered containers in a darkened room. And it is strange that it is also what you do when you want to kidnap someone without the cops noticing. But enough of that. Let's talk about pasta. So pasta is a valuable, convenient food. It can be stored, cooks quickly, and comes with different types, sizes, flavors, and shapes. Not to mention that it is rich in carbohydrates. So my tips for making the best pasta is to make sure that you use enough water. For every 500 grams of pasta, you need 5 to 6 liters of water. Another is to make sure it is on high heat and that you should not add salt. Adding salt will only add unnecessary sodium to the dish. Lastly, al dente, which means do not overcook the pasta. It's done when it is tender but still firm to the bite. It's best that you follow these steps. You will guarantee that you have a great pasta to eat. Hey, I finally got the self-discipline to animate again. Screw me! So sauces are very versatile. Sauces can be used to add flavor, add moisture, enhance appearance, and improve texture. Heck, some sauces can even do more than one of what I just said. So there are many sauces out there that you might not know what to use. Well, here's a bunch of things that I want you to keep in note. When choosing a sauce, the flavor must match the flavor of the food with which it is paired. So if you are making a dish that is spicy, you would need a sauce that is also spicy. Another is to understand that white sauces are used for white meats, like fish and poultry, and that brown sauces are used for red meats, which are beef and pork. And that is all that I have to say about algebra. So if you didn't remember what the elements of the sandwich is, well, guess what? You're going to fail one question. Good luck on the quiz. Oh, oh shoot! It's that time of the quarter again. You know what that means? It means that I am going to waste another day of my life at Windows PaintMaker 1995. Well, let's look at the lessons that I am supposed to cover today. I am to cover 4 lessons. Okay, pretty acceptable. I mean, I'm still wasting time, but I'm not that nitpicky. You know what? Why not? Let me discuss the top 4 things I learned from English Week 6. Number 4. Determining an author's purpose. In this topic, it talks about finding the author's motive or purpose in their own literary work. If you are a hardcore Percy Potter fan, then I will now show you how to find your author's motives. Your first bet would be to read through their own biography. Oftentimes, there would be a relation between the author's work and biography. However, if the author of your choosing doesn't have a biography, then your next bet is to imagine actors and actresses playing the part. Think about how the characters will play their roles. Imagine playing one of their roles. Another would be to think about what the characters would say. Pay attention to details and what its message is. If you follow these guidelines, then you are sure to find the author's motives in creating his or her work. Number 3. The age of realism, naturalism, and symbolism. Wait a minute. This history. What is this doing here? Well, why not we declare today that history is the same as English? No need to question it, you freaking hypocrites. Let's just keep moving forward. So 1842 was considered the start of the age of realism. And if you do not know what realism is, they're basically a genre of actual stories. You know, non-fiction. Yeah. I know that's the worst way that I can describe realism, but realism is not defined in the book, and I had to look at external sources to find them. So going back to the topic, let us look at what happened to some countries during the age of realism. First off, Spain. During the oppressive reign of Ferdinand VII in Spain, many Spaniards fled to France. But after Ferdinand's death, people came back to Spain, bringing with them romantic ideas. Is that what I think it is? Play a sexist joke here. But since the genre of Romanticism was becoming stale to them, Spanish writers turned to realistic but humorous stories. And the trend from Romanticism to realism came to place in Spain. In Germany, literature became more concerned with political and social ideas, and that trend seems to be reappearing today. But in Russia, they were experiencing their golden age of Russian literature, an age of literature for them that ran from 1820 to 1883. In the early years of this age, people were focused in Romanticism, but then at the later parts of the era, a shift from Romanticism to realism took place. Writers like Nikolai Gogol, Ivan Turgenev, and Leo Tolstoy brought something new to literature. They created a candid realism with extreme sensitiveness, awareness of the pangs of the human heart, and aspiration toward the highest ideals. And if you don't understand what that means, then that means that they made real stories wherein you get to see the sympathy of the suffering of man. What? I'm not even kidding. You can read the book if you want. This made a new subgenre called Russian realism and naturalism, which differs from their Western counterparts that tries to be more objective in their work. Number 2. The characters' interactions and its effect to the plot. In this lesson, we will talk about how well the interactions between characters affect the story's plot. In order to analyze the effect of such interactions, you must analyze the character's influence, motivation, and relationship, and even the plot itself. But let us discuss this one by one. Influence is the extent to which the characters affect each other. Think of it as a food web. If you took one character out of the system, then you might end up with a different story. Heck, maybe you wouldn't even have a story to begin with. Motivation is what propels the characters to act and behave the way they do in the story. An antagonist wouldn't just be bad for no reason. There has to be a certain drive that keeps them going. If there is no drive to get the characters moving, then your story would be left with a lot of plot holes. Relationship is the ties and bonds that exist between characters. Relationship also build motivation in characters. Ties or bonds between characters can be an open segment for authors to produce conflict or crisis in their story. And finally, the plot itself. Plot refers to the arrangement of events in the story. If characters are not there, then there would be no story to begin with. And I do not have anything to add to this boring topic, but finally, number 1 goes to Leo DiCaprio for Best Actor of the Year. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Let's give him a round of applause. Just good job. What was this list about again?